She came back after all her work, and we sat there quietly for a while, letting the moment breathe. It was one of those pauses where time seems to slow, where the world outside ceases to exist, leaving only the presence of another soul in your life. After about half an hour, I turned to her, almost without thinking, and said, "I'm going to be the father of your children." At first, the words might have sounded bold or impulsive, yet in that moment they were not a declaration of bravado. They were simply the truth of a certainty that had settled in my heart. It was a quiet conviction, one that had grown slowly, unnoticed, until it could no longer be contained. That instant, seemingly ordinary to anyone else, would become the first step in a love story that the world admired, yet only we truly understood. It was a moment of clarity, of honesty, where love revealed itself not as grand gestures or dramatic proclamations, but as a quiet, unwavering certainty that shaped the rest of our lives together. Michael Douglas, strength born of shadows. Michael Douglas, a commanding presence in Hollywood, captivated audiences for decades with performances that were intense, intelligent, and unforgettable. His career, highlighted by an Academy Award and numerous accolades, established him as not only a gifted actor, but also as a man whose presence seemed to extend beyond the screen. Yet behind the magnetism and apparent ease lay a childhood that combined privilege with profound emotional absence. Born on September 25, 1944, to Kirk Douglas, already ascending as a Hollywood icon, and Diana Dill, a woman of quiet strength and exacting discipline, Michael grew up in an environment that juxtaposed fame with deep personal challenges. His parents divorced when he was just 7, leaving him to navigate feelings of loss and the subtle ways absence shapes a child's understanding of love. Surrounded by peers and prestigious schools, he quickly learned that the admiration he received was often for the name he carried, not the boy he was. These early experiences could have fractured him, but instead, they instilled a determination to create his own identity, to step out of the shadow of expectation, and to pursue a life defined not by inherited fame, but by purpose, resilience, and personal integrity. Catherine Zeta-Jones. Fragility turned determination. Catherine Zeta-Jones, born on September 25, 1969, in Swansea, Wales, understood the fragility of life from an early age. Her family was modest, hardworking, and devoted to providing stability, yet circumstances beyond their control shaped Catherine's awareness of how quickly life could shift. A severe viral infection in her early childhood threatened her life, and an emergency procedure left a subtle scar on her throat, a permanent reminder of how delicate existence can be. The experience could have instilled fear or hesitation, yet it became a cornerstone of resilience and self-determination. Catherine learned early that challenges could be transformed into motivation, that vulnerability could coexist with strength. Even as school children whispered or stared at her scar, she chose to shine, to let her talent, discipline, and presence define her rather than what life had temporarily taken from her. Her parents, grateful for her survival, invested in her potential, enrolling her in dance and singing lessons that became the foundation of her extraordinary career. By the age of 4, she was performing under church lights, and by 11, she graced the West End stage in London. Every rehearsal, every performance, every long hour of practice reinforced a mindset that challenges could be converted into achievement. And by 15, she was touring professionally, a young woman fully in command of her destiny, unafraid of hard work or the responsibility of carving her own path. 2 paths toward greatness. Michael and Catherine's lives evolved along separate, demanding paths, each forged through challenges unique to their upbringing and circumstances. Michael, determined to emerge as more than just a Douglas, embraced roles that demanded depth, intelligence, and moral complexity. He debuted in Hail Hero in 1969, gaining early recognition while demonstrating a commitment to shaping his own legacy apart from his father's influence. Through the 1970s and 1980s, his choices continued to reflect a deliberate strategy. He sought characters that tested him, that explored human flaws, and that left cultural marks long after the credits rolled. Films like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Wall Street cemented his reputation as an actor capable of nuance, presence, and intellectual rigor. Meanwhile, Catherine faced a different kind of challenge. Early television roles introduced her to fame, but she quickly recognized that Hollywood often valued beauty over talent. Undeterred, she pursued rigorous training in acting, dance, and vocal performance, proving her dedication with performances that combined athleticism, emotional depth, and charisma. Films like The Mask of Zorro and Chicago not only showcased her skill, but validated the years of discipline, persistence, and courage she had invested. Both were climbing, both overcoming the burdens of expectation and the scars of early life, each learning that perseverance, humility, and self-awareness were as important as talent in achieving true success. Early love and lessons learned. Before their paths converged, Michael experienced the complexities of love and family firsthand. In 1977, he married Deandra Lucer, and their son Cameron arrived a year later. The marriage began with hope, mutual respect, and shared dreams, yet the demands of Michael's career slowly created distance. The lessons from his childhood about absence and the necessity of presence emerged once more, reminding him that admiration or ambition could never replace the steady intimacy that love requires. By 2000, the marriage had ended, but not without leaving Michael with profound insight. Genuine connection requires active engagement, shared moments, and consistent attention, not just the glow of fame or professional recognition. The experience refined his understanding of relationships, preparing him for a future that would demand patience, empathy, and unwavering commitment. Catherine's heartbreak. Before love, Catherine, too, had learned that love is rarely simple. Early relationships brought both hope and disappointment, teaching her the importance of guarding her independence, valuing honesty, and recognizing genuine intent behind affection. Fame and public attention complicated these lessons, forcing her to distinguish between admiration and authentic connection. By the time she met Michael, she had cultivated the discernment to seek a partnership that balanced mutual respect, shared values, and emotional depth. She no longer looked for perfection. Instead, she sought someone who understood resilience, patience, and the complexities of a life shaped by both triumph and struggle. Destiny crosses paths. Michael and Catherine met at the Deauville Film Festival in 1998, a moment where two worlds collided in ways neither could have anticipated. Michael, at 53, carried the weight of decades of experience, charisma, and artistic accomplishment. Catherine, at 28, radiated confidence, self-possession, and the quiet authority of someone who had fought to earn every opportunity. Amid the flashing cameras and swirling attention, Michael noticed something quietly familiar in Catherine, a softness that belied strength, a gaze that reflected understanding and lived experience. Impulsively, he spoke the words that startled her. "I am going to be the father of your children." Catherine, cautious and protective of her heart, stepped back, initially taken aback by the audacity. Yet Michael's persistence was gentle, grounded in sincerity rather than ego. Handwritten notes, patient conversation, and genuine gestures gradually replaced uncertainty with trust, allowing a fragile bond to grow slowly and deliberately away from public scrutiny. A love built on patience and understanding. Their connection developed quietly, nurtured by attention to one another rather than the gaze of the world. By New Year's Eve 1999, amidst blankets and warmth rather than glitz and spectacle, Michael proposed with a vintage diamond ring, an intimate gesture that reflected the sincerity and patience that had characterized their courtship. Catherine accepted not for public applause, but for the man who had demonstrated care, consistency, and understanding over months of shared vulnerability. Their wedding on November 18, 2000, at the Plaza Hotel in New York, was a celebration of love. Yet behind the glamour lay humility, mutual respect, and deep emotional connection. Their son Dylan arrived earlier that year, followed by daughter Karis 3 years later, creating a family foundation rooted in shared values, quiet devotion, and the joy of togetherness rather than fame. Creating sanctuary beyond Hollywood. Aware of the pressures fame can bring, Michael and Catherine chose to cultivate a life beyond the glare of public attention. Their family home in Bermuda became a sanctuary, a place where ocean walks, morning routines, and laughter-filled dinners replaced headlines and camera flashes. Here, their children experienced stability, presence, and the quiet rhythms of family life that both Michael and Catherine had sought throughout their own formative years. Career choices were deliberate, balancing artistic growth with family priorities. Michael selected roles that challenged him without compromising his time at home, while Catherine chose projects that showcased her talent and respected her well-being. Together, they nurtured a home where love, consistency, and support were paramount. Storms that could have broken them. No life and no marriage is without challenge. Michael and Catherine faced obstacles that tested their resilience in profound ways. Cameron, Michael's son from his first marriage, navigated personal struggles that reminded Michael of the delicate balance between ambition and attentive parenting. Michael's cancer diagnosis in 2010 presented a life-altering moment, met with the unwavering support of Catherine, who stood by him through rigorous treatment and recovery. Catherine, in turn, faced her own mental health challenges, requiring courage, self-awareness, and openness. Together, they confronted these trials with patience, understanding, and mutual support, converting vulnerability into a source of strength. Even moments of public scrutiny and misrepresentation could not shake the foundation they had carefully built, rebuilding and choosing each other. By 2014, after periods of reflection and honest communication, Michael and Catherine consciously rebuilt their relationship. Love, they discovered, was less about grand gestures and more about steady presence, daily choices, and the willingness to face difficulties together. In 2017, the birth of their first grandchild provided tangible proof of the cycles of love and care they had cultivated, showing how healing, dedication, and attention could generate enduring family bonds. Their story became a testament to the quiet power of commitment, empathy, and shared resilience, demonstrating that love flourishes not in spectacle, but in the deliberate acts of care and attention that sustain a partnership over decades. Gratitude and a new season today, Michael and Catherine embrace a life defined by presence, purpose, and gratitude. Their homes across New York, Bermuda, and Morocco serve as retreats where family laughter replaces camera flashes and intimacy is celebrated without audience or expectation. Michael reflects on each day with appreciation, grateful for health, clarity, and the constant presence of those he cherishes. Catherine moves forward in her career with intentionality, balancing artistry with self-care, embodying grace and resilience. Together, they navigate life quietly, with tenderness, soft conversation, and shared moments of reflection, honoring the love that has endured every test life has presented. Love as resilience. The story of Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones is not a fairy tale. It is a testament to resilience, patience, and the enduring power of authentic connection. Their love demonstrates that relationships survive illness, setbacks, mistakes, and public scrutiny when grounded in understanding, forgiveness, and quiet devotion. They have learned that happiness does not emerge from fame, accolades, or recognition, but from shared struggles, mutual care, and the ongoing commitment to nurture one another. Every challenge, triumph, and quiet moment has strengthened their bond, creating a love that transcends celebrity and reminds the world that true connection flourishes when two people choose each other daily, even when the spotlight is elsewhere.